All right, for part three, we are going to take our best development drawings and we are going to refine them toward our final rendering. So here is where we would be at the end of part two. I don't want to show you too many solutions because I don't want to influence your particular design final, in that you might be doing the same two letter forms and you'll look at what has been done and you'll be like, oh gee, I can't do that because it's already been done. Or you might look at it and go, oh, that's cool, I can copy that. So in the interest of not influencing your final design, I'm only going to show you a few. Okay, so here's an example of where we would be at the end of part two, and would be like, well, that might work, this could work, that could work, this could work, maybe that could work. And so what we would do then is select the best ones and push it to the next refinement stage. So now, for example, we might be looking at the different ways that these letter forms could be combined in a more refined solution. Now, these aren't going to necessarily all work, right? But you're kind of working through all the possible variations. Do we let the stroke and the serif finish off the F and the E? What happens to the crossbar? Does that work? Does the terminal on the F and the crossbar on the E, do we let the terminal on the E finish the design? So there's a variety of ways that we can look at this. And again, you're going to be working at it at a slightly larger scale, something like 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 based on what you were working on before. And so then we'll go, okay, maybe that's the best one of that group. So here's another example, kind of working through a variety of different ways. And now here, when I talk about flow, these are the kinds of things I'm talking about. For example, the flow of the arm of, I'm sorry, what is that called? That is called I should know these by heart, right? The shoulder. The shoulder of the A with the terminal, the shoulder of the R with the terminal of the A. How does that flow together? You might consider things like, is there going to be a little bulb on the end of that or not? Does the A, does the bowl of the A, does it touch the stroke of the R? So these are different things you're going to talk about and you're going to discuss. Again, the flow, for example, if this was going to be an A and a P, that flow between the two elements, you'd want that to be smooth. If something is going to flow into a stroke, you want that to be smooth. So you're looking for these kinds of really pretty refinements, the flow of the design. Okay, so here, the same kind of thing, that KY idea, where does the arm of the K come out from the stroke of the K, right? Could that be adapted? Can the arm of the Y become the leg of the K? These are the kinds of things that you want to play with. Does the terminal on the bottom of the Y, does that attach to the stroke? Does the bulb hang out on its own? So these are the kinds of iterations you're going to be going through. And then you're going to start finally getting it close to the point where, it's working. How wide is the letter form? Do the serifs attach? Is it more condensed? Does the bulb of the descender on the Y, does it line with the stroke, or does it, hang off the edge a little bit? These are all balance things that you're going to be looking for. Okay. Here's another idea. This would have been kind of at the end of phase one, and then this would be closer to, another part of the phase one, and then going to the end of phase two. And so here, if this were phase two, we'd be like, yeah, okay, that might work, this could work, that could work, and we would be going, okay, those are the ones that are the strongest of this batch, and so let's push those forward. So, what happens? And again, as we start to look through, this would be probably the very end of part two. And we'd be like, okay, of these three possibilities, what is the one that works the best? And we'd be like, okay, the entire bowl of the of the Q, the tail on the Q, the spine of the S. The flow of that is starting to work. So we might say, okay, that's where we might want to go next. Pushing that design, and now this was the GQ from the previous design, right? And so, pushing that and going, well, that could definitely work. This was actually a very nice, strong solution using the typeface Cooper Extra Bold. And so it has a lot of curvature to it. It's a pretty neat typeface. But taking the idea of the S and the Q together, this is where the end of part 3 is going to be. After working through some of the issues, you're working larger and you're trying to get all the forms to work. And at the end of that design, this is what it would look like. Now, remember, I'm talking about working softly, right? Basically, you're taking the lines and you're just sort of roughing them in lightly to kind of see how it flows together. What happens to these little details? How thick is the spine? What happens to the terminal of the S? Is there a serif on it? How far out does it go? Here again, working softly. There isn't necessarily a very strong particular contour. It's sort of playing around with the ease and easiness of it, right? You're just sort of kind of making it flow. You're just trying to get loose and light with it. And then finally, as it starts to finalize, you can even see here he erased some of the lines to clean up the final outline. And this is where we would want to be at the end of part 3. Okay, so that's the idea, and that's that's where you want to go. Okay, so hopefully this shows you the process and things that you'll want to think about as you begin to play around with these designs. If you want to, refer to, this design glossary of terms that is on the featured albums, you could just sort of check this out and kind of refer to the terminology that's going on and then refer to the index. And you can then go, okay, well, the O2, well, that's an apex, and O4 is an arm, and the bottom is a leg, and, those kinds of things, eyes and descenders, and, tails, and, 29, what's 29? I should know that, a shoulder. And terminals and so on. So these are all the different pieces, parts that you'll be thinking about as you work through your ligature design. Okay, so I hope that works for you, and let's see where it goes. All right, good luck, everyone. Have fun.